Hello everybody and welcome back to Magna Carta 2. Last video we returned from Dunan Hill, and in this video we're just going to set out into the city.
Master Crocell?
Master?
Huh? Marith, you're alive!
You've been with the Southern Forces all this time.
Marith!
Thank goodness you're safe, sir. I never thought the day would come when I would see you again.
Same here, Marith. I'm so glad to see you. I'd given you up for dead.
Yes, but
What is it?
my apologies, sir. I have only my cowardliness to blame.
What is it, Marith?
The late masters left a package in my care with the instructions that I was to give it to you without fail. It was stolen from me.
Stolen? Stolen by who?
On the road here, a group of Lati. I beg your forgiveness, Master Crocell.
It's all right, don't worry about it. Just so long as you're okay.
But it was so precious to the late master.
There's no telling when I might die on the battlefield. So there's no point in me having heirlooms like that.
Master Crocell.
Thank you for coming all this way. I bet you're tired, aren't you? Sit down and take it easy.
Yes.
You're an aristocrat and didn't tell us?
It's not really a big deal. I was part of the lower nobility.
But she called you Master Crocell! That sounds pretty important!
Look, that's all in the past.
The cave of the Lati tribe is southwest of Abazet.
What about it?
Let's take it back.
He's right. I mean, it's a family heirloom. Let's get it back.
Well, if you tell me to go, I guess I'll go.
I can see right through you. You were gonna go by yourself if you had to, right?
Alright, so we get a little bit of interesting backstory on Crocell. Was part of the nobility, so that might kind of explain his personality a little bit. Who knows? I guess that was probably one of his housemaids or something like that. But we're gonna have to go find his family heirloom. I was going to go for a quest, but I was getting a little bit ahead of myself. I need to go back to the monster scholar's house first, because we talked to his grandson Aruth at Dunan Hill, and we recovered the documents that we needed for the poison for the Lati, and unfortunately Crocell's heirloom was lost to the Lati as well, so it's really becoming an issue that we need to deal with. Alright, so let's speak to the scholar and see what he has to say now that he's got the piece of paper that he needs. He says that he's been gathering ingredients while we were away, but he doesn't have the cursed grass, which is the most essential part of the potion. And apparently the Merchants Guild has it, so we're gonna take a trip over there and pick that up in hopes that it might help with our problem. Alright, now I can head to the Merchants Guild. I was trying to go that way earlier, but you do have to talk to the monster scholar first. While we're there, I may be able to spend a little bit of money. However, there's nothing new to purchase at the moment. There's no new weapons or anything like that. And I do believe that I've picked up all of my character's special accessories that are needed. So I might hold off on shopping for now, and I might do it at another time, because there is going to be a time in the very near future where there are going to be a couple of new things available, so we'll just have to be patient and wait for that time to come. And once here, we're going to go into the headquarters, and we'll speak to Schneider. And of course, if we speak to him again, he'll give us another quest. And we're going to learn a little bit about the Wasteland of Silence, which is a new area, and that's where the cursed grass grows. Unfortunately, the people that were sent to gather the cursed grass were ambushed by werewolves. So we're going to need to go gather it ourselves. That's what it looks like. And once we've collected it, we're going to have to bring it over towards the Monster Scholar. There's also another quest in here given to us by Yi Il. And she's going to ask us about recovering some lost commons. I guess the werewolves, when they attacked, they also stole commons that were very valuable. And as we know, werewolves love to steal, so we're definitely going to have to try and get those back for the guild's people. And when we get out to Abazet Field, we'll be right back into the action. We're going to go to a new area, and we're going to work on solving this Lati problem. Now, you're going to have to do this without Zephy. She's currently unavailable. She did say that she was at General Headquarters, but even if you go there, she won't be there. So, we're going to have to go without Zephy for a little while. But not forever, fear not, we will be picking her up at a later date. But she's busy with all of her politics and whatnot. So we're gonna go see about getting back Crocell's heirloom. And once outside the gates, we can accept a couple of more quests from both of the soldiers standing out here. The first request is going to be to search for the scout that they've lost contact with in the Wasteland of Silence. And that's where we're going, so we will definitely keep an eye out for him. And the second soldier is going to ask us to defend the south gate, which is the gate that divides the Wasteland and Abazet. And the gate is actually being attacked by the Lati, so this is going to be our first opportunity to sort of see what these Lati creatures look like, because as we've seen reported by numerous people, they appear to be causing a lot of trouble for a lot of people. So you've probably walked past the south gate a couple of times on your travels. It's really hard to miss, of course. It's a big wooden gate, and if you're having troubles finding it, you can, of course, just look it up on your map here. And normally this would be locked, but at this point in the game it's now opened to us and we now have access. So when we get here, we're going to immediately speak to the soldier at the gate, and we're going to help with the defense of the gate against the Lati. And this is a little mini game that involves Celestine. As the minigame starts, the Lati will appear. They will attack Celestine up close or from a distance. Celestine must use her arrows to kill all the Lati before her HP reaches 0. Use the left stick to aim, and press the A button to fire an arrow. You also have a couple of different attacks. You can use the X button to fire an ice bomb arrow, or the B button to fire a frozen arrow. For each Lati killed, you will get 1 con. And that's all there is to it. So we need to kill 15 of these things. And as long as you keep them far away from you, there shouldn't be too much of an issue. There are going to be a couple of them that attack from long range. So that may become problematic, but for the most part, we should be able to defend this area quite easily. And even if you're being very careful and taking your time and whatnot, You really shouldn't have that much of an issue with these guys. They give you 100 health, but each attack that they do only does 5. And so you really have to take a lot of damage for your health to run out, so just take this slow and steady. It's very self-explanatory. Just another one of the fun sort of mini-games that the game has thrown in. I kind of like that they throw them in from time to time. Just kind of spices things up instead of having to attack these things head on. You can sort of do it in a fun way. And it also shows off Celestine's awesome archery skills. We've got one more left. And once that's done, we can speak to the guard for a reward, which is a pretty good reward. 1500 experience, 1500 said, and an earring of sacrifice. Not bad. In this new area, we have quite a bit going on. I recommend saving at the pillar first before you go too deep in this area, because there's a lot to it. If we want to pursue trying to get Crocell's heirloom back, we have to go to the cave of the Lati tribe. But we also have the option to go to Chieftain's Hill and the Wasteland of Silence. We're going to need to go to all of these areas in order to finish all of the quests that were given to us. So we're going to spend a little bit of time in this area. And the monsters here are quite tough. We're going to be fighting lots of werewolves. We're going to be fighting lots of Lati. And this is a great opportunity to grind. If you just feel like you haven't had enough grinding, or you feel like you really want to try and level up a little bit more, then this is a great opportunity to do so. These werewolves right now are giving me almost 300 experience. And these werewolves do respawn. If you go far enough away and you return, then they'll be back. So you can farm these werewolves for as long as you please to try and get a couple of more levels off of them, which I recommend. Especially when you're getting a high amount of experience like this, I think it's always worthwhile to get that experience while it's still available. Because if you get to be a higher level, then the experience that you gain becomes a lot less. And you'll have to move on to the next area to gain levels. You're also going to get a significant amount of Sid out of this, which again we can use when we do get new weapons available to us back in Abazet. Anyways, I just thought I would talk a little bit about the area, do a couple of the quests, and fight a few werewolves for a little bit of experience before I stop. I'm not going to get too into the rest of the side quests in the area, just because we are getting quite on in video time, and it's probably a good time to take a break before we really fully explore the area for all of its greatness. It's a very, very dull, sort of sad looking area, but you know, great for the experience, something new, which I always like, and hopefully we won't be here for too long before we return back to Abazet and back to Zephy. I hope you guys will be joining me in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you then.